good? All right, Coach, if you want to start us off with an opening comment.
Well, yeah, first and foremost, we just seen Brett. I just want to, congratulate him up to this point, as a coach that's trying to do different things. I know how hard it is, and, it didn't start with that win on Saturday. And I didn't go to the locker room. I wasn't in the locker room after the game or anything, but I heard the speech, and not only did I hear the speech, I heard what the players said afterwards. And so, that to me, that's the process of it. And it's always exciting to see the trajectory, and we got here. He was just here, a year before me or whatnot, and he takes over in the interim. And so we essentially been here together, and, to see where they've started, and the process of how it goes, because it's not easy, and just happy for him and, continued success. And, things are going in the right direction because he's got them going in the right direction. And like I said, now the biggest thing is go make something up to be mad at them this week. So, everybody patting them on the back. You got to get them back on their toes and on their heels to get them to understand that, we've done what we were supposed to do. And if we want to be the program, that we want to be, just like I try to instill in our guys, this can't be, we can't be happy about these things. We got to take advantage of them and keep the momentum going. But I just want to say that.
All right, well done forward. Chad?
How much are you relying on some of your returning players, Kwesi, Jaden, so on, to bring these new guys up to speed?
It's going to be on them to, talk to the guys about the expectation, and I think that's been the best thing so far. When you have Bai, when you have Jaden, when you have Kwesi, even Dylan, because he was here last year, they know what the standard is, and each and every day it makes it easier when, as a coach and the staff, you're trying to create your culture and fighting for your culture when you have people that's in the locker room that understands the culture. Going into year 3, I have 2 guys that have been with me from day one, Bai and Kwesi. Jaden, he got significant minutes as a freshman, looking for him to take a jump. So, really excited about that group of guys.
Kelly?
Can you tell me a little bit about Lamar Washington and what he brings to the table for you guys?
Lamar, leadership and stability. That's what I love about him. I've known him for a very long time. He's from Portland, Oregon. It's crazy. He played. Most people don't know this. Lamar was highly recruited in football. He was a really good linebacker. So sought after early on. He had offers from SC in Oregon. He just loved basketball during COVID. Then he left, but he went to Jefferson High School. He played football, but my uncle was the head coach at Jeff. Then he played basketball for one of my best friends, who I was teammates and won a state championship with. Growing up in Portland. So the leadership part, the stability, grown man, coming in from Texas Tech. He knows what it looks like. He's played with first-round picks. He had a chance to go to Pacific and play, and, he really evolved there. He was all conference, and I'm looking for him to, although he hasn't been here, to be a big part of that nucleus of guys that I talked about.
Coach, you talked in your opening statements about the process and getting through that. Where would you say right now, as you look at your program and your team, where are you guys, in your opinion, in that process right now?
I think we're right on point to where we need to be, and it's continuing to move the needle. I think we have a team that's full of depth. We got numbers. We got competition. And I think collectively we got a group that likes each other, and I think those are the biggest ingredients to having a good team. As a coach, you love the competition. As a player, what I used to say is, and I go back to when I played at Arizona, the least talented team I played on went to the Final Four. the most talented team I played on, we lost in the first round of the NCAA tournament. So the excitement for me is more so the cohesion that we have amongst the group. Like, I haven't seen this group. Since I've been here, I haven't had a group that has hung out together. We got to kick them out of the gym. They go back to the locker room. They hang with each other in the locker room. They go out together. They're at the football game last week. And so for me, like, that's a joy, because that's half of the battle. Now, we haven't handed out any minutes, on any of those things yet. But the process started, the beginning of the summer, and it's just continued up to this point.
You have a freshman class that makes up a pretty large percentage of your roster this year. Do you feel like you have talent there that can make it, contributions right away, or are you expecting to gradually move them into the lineup?
No, well, I said, I'm going to segue to your question. I told Bai last year after the season was over, I said, I'm not going to protect you no more from the standpoint of, you have to talk to the media. They got to know who you are. You're going to ACC Media Day. And so in saying that, I have a freshman class that I think is elite. I think that they will contribute. All of them will contribute over the course of time. I think we have some special ones in this class, starting with Muhammad Sila. I think that, for me, he'll be one of the best freshmen in the country. I think people should enjoy watching him while they can. He's a joy to be around, and he does things that freshmen don't do. And I'm excited to coach him. We have a Kai Fleming, a local kid, and I think that the biggest thing, nobody has seen him in about a year and a half, because he hadn't been healthy, but he's healthy. He's athletic. He brings a different dimension than what we've had. We got Cole Kurak, who is one of my favorite players. I think he's one of the smartest players I've ever coached as a freshman. He's a 7-footer. He's only going to get better. He's a local kid. Obviously played last year at OTE. We have Eric Chatfield, and I think over his time here, he will be really good. I think that as a small guard, he has a chance to be special. And what does that look like? I don't know. Most people always say, well, you're a little guard. What does that look like? But I don't like to compare what I did to any small guard, because what I did was special, So, but I think that he has a chance to be really good. We got Davi Remigan from Germany, and Davi is really good. He just turned 18. He's been a pro, I think, since he was like 14 or 15. He has a man's body right now, and I'm excited about him as well. So I think our freshman class, I'm sorry, I can't forget, Brandon Stores. Brandon Stores has the biggest personality on this team. He's gonna be a guy that not only helps with, is this my phone, guy? I'm gonna stop that for a second. I'm sorry. I'm in a press conference. I'm messing with y'all. No, Brandon Stores Jr. Sorry about that. Brandon Stores Jr. Bronx kid. Really, really high IQ. But what I love about him, and you guys will fall in love with it, he has one of the most contagious personalities you'll ever see in a kid. He's always talking, and his teammates love him. He knows how to keep the energy in the room. And so I just, it's a breath of fresh air to have a group like that, So different personalities, but all the same, a group that's going to help us both on the floor and off.
Jackson.
In terms of the point guard position, the shot creation and playmaking ability, how do you feel about that heading into the season?
Well, obviously we lost our point guard, and it's no problem. One thing about coaching, and I've learned this, you just got to change a little bit. You got to tweak it. You'll see more people handling the ball. We have the way we've played in the past, and explaining the way we played in the past. Obviously, it was a style that I brought with me, but we didn't have multiple ball handlers. We got way more people that can make plays. We'll play out of the post a little more. We have really good bigs, like I said. One guy I haven't talked about, and I think it's crazy to say, but he's probably one of the best passers on our team is Peyton Marshall, transfer from Missouri. He can really pass the ball. For me, he reminds me a lot, and where I've always been attracted to him when I recruit him out of high schools. I played with Oliver Miller. For those that remember, Oliver since passed away, but he went to Arkansas, and I played with him in Toronto, and Peyton's a really good passer. So there's just a lot of different dynamics that we have that we just didn't have in the past, and we got versatility. So the ball be distributed evenly. It won't be a dominant ball handler, but it'll be a lot of people that I feel like can make plays.
Kelly?
It seems like with Muhammad and Peyton, that takes a lot of pressure off Bai to have to be the five and can play. He seems more comfortable when he's playing maybe that four spot for you. Yeah. How different is it? And it seems a little bit more like kind of the way you guys maybe played back in your day in terms of having two post presence and being able to move the ball in and out like that.
Yeah, well, I've even told the staff there's some things we have to get comfortable with and we have to live with. Sometimes the spacing might not be ideal and different things of that nature because we'll be playing with a lot of too big lineups. But the biggest thing is that you said by not playing the five, excuse me. Him being, predominantly at the four, except in small ball situations, I think it'll help him. The past couple of years, he just haven't had a lot of people that could take pressure off of him. It's either he get the rebound or we don't get the rebound. And by the time, the games wore on, they were putting 2 and 3 guys on to box him out. To his credit, he was still a monster and did a whole lot of good things. But having him at the four, expanding his game, he'll have to guard perimeters. There's things that. With him, we've talked about, and he has to get comfortable, especially moving on from Tech when he leaves Tech. So
We'll do 1 or 2 more. Rob?
You got some big-time help on the perimeter with Shooter and Kraft, and you get Wasi back. What will both their roles be this year?
Make shots. They got to keep the court space. Obviously, Wasey, he never got on track last year early, and then when he got injured, obviously we shut him down or whatnot. So I look for him to have a bounce back year. I think he has Wasey has the potential to do a lot more. We're going to play him some at the 4 and small ball lineups because he can create opportunities there as well. So he's going to play a big role in this. And then Cam, I think in Cam we got one of the best shooters in the country. He had a 40-point game last year in Miami, Ohio. I just think that in terms of shooting, we haven't had that since I've been here. The way he can shoot, he can make spot ups, he can come off picks, and he's an evolving playmaker from the standpoint of, he's not going to bring the ball down, do different things, but just trying to get him to be able to make the next read, make pocket passes, coming off ball screens and things of that nature. But, both of those guys are going to have to make shots. We really, truly, we need 4 to 5 threes between both of them a game, with our bigs so they can play in spacing.
Kelly?
The schedule, obviously, you had kind of a curveball thrown with the move from 20 to 18, but you guys are home a lot this year, and I know you felt like maybe you overscheduled yourself last year a little bit. How did you kind of go about piecing it together, and how much of a curve was that to have to scramble to find 2 games to fill?
It wasn't bad at all, and we have a schedule that, to me, if we handle our business, is favorable. I think that we do have a lot of home games early, which is big for us. And so I think the biggest thing with this team, and I've been preaching this to our team, I've been preaching this to our staff, and we've done a lot of things differently the first 2 years over the summer than what I did in the past. I've actually been practicing, implementing, putting things in with all the new faces that we have. But the biggest thing is we've shown an ability. We can beat we can beat top 25 teams. We can beat top 5 teams. We got to beat the teams we're supposed to beat. That makes a season. You got to win the games that you're supposed to win. And if we can build our momentum going into ACC play, to me, we have a favorable schedule going into ACC play. We play a lot of home games, and we just have to take one practice, one game at a time. But I love our schedule. It wasn't a bad thing in terms of going from 20 to 18 because it gave us a little more flexibility. Again, we have an opportunity. We got to take it one practice, one game at a time, and I think we'll be fine.
Final question to Rod.
Going back to Peyton, he didn't get a chance to play much last year nationally. Since he's gotten here, I understand he's worked himself into pretty good shape now. Is that a good sign, as far as getting some minutes?
P was gonna play anyway. Big P was gonna play, but Slim P gonna play too. So it didn't matter. He was gonna play regardless. The thing about P is that, again, he has a big personality as well. I mess with him at times. I said, man, on your Instagram page, you're doing all this modeling and stuff. You trying to, he's really in tune with a lot of things, but what gets lost in that is his play. And I think that the biggest thing for him is being able to stay out of foul trouble. I think that P's a big, strong kid, and I think that, he just has to figure out how to stay on the floor. We have to help him in those areas, but he moves well for a big guy. And the beauty of our team is not just with P when I say this, but it's when everybody. Man, I'm not giving out no free minutes. We don't have free minutes. We got enough bodies to where you play as hard as you can, you come out the game, but I don't have free minutes this year. Last year I had a lot of free minutes. Due to injury, I don't have free minutes this year. So, but P, I look forward to him playing a big role in this program this season.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach.
All right. Thank you. All right.